Lesson 22. In this lesson, today and tomorrow, we're going to be talking about distance and rate and time. There's a formula in math. Oh, by the way, the outfit, I'm making this video on Friday. Friday was October 30th, and we wore our Halloween costumes to school that day for Red Ribbon Week, Say Boo to Drugs. And so I'm a zombie. And even though it's now Monday, November 2nd, you're getting the video from last week. Okay, so we're going to be dealing with this math formula. Okay, this is, we're going to introduce a little bit of algebra to you guys. Okay, distance equals rate times time. And I want to talk about what that means. Distance equals rate times time. You're going to see it in some of the questions this week. And it's going to look like this. It's going to look like D equals R dot T. Okay, this is shortened for distance. The D equals rate. We put the R. Now, in middle school, we use a dot for multiplication, especially in equations, because in equations, we use letters, and the X looks like another letter, so we don't know if it's a variable, a letter, or if it's a multiplication sign. So we take it out, and we don't use the X as a multiplication sign anymore. We use a dot. Dot means to multiply. You've probably seen that on when you've taken the performance series, your Global Scholar test. You've probably seen that dot and wondered what that was. Well, there it is. It just means to multiply. So this is an equation. This is a mathematical equation that you would see in algebra. Okay, and it says that if we know the rate, that would be the speed someone is traveling. If I was a runner, that's how fast I could run, the speed, my rate, times how long I'm running, that would tell me how far I went. So let's do a quick little example. If I ran 5 miles an hour, okay, so I'm a slow runner. If I ran 5 miles an hour, and I ran for 1 hour, then I could multiply 5 times 1 and get 5, and I would run a total of 5 miles. That would never happen. So anyway, if I ran for 2 hours and I was running 5 miles an hour for 2 hours, if you multiply 5 times 2, I would run a total of 10 miles. Okay. And so this person, he's a runner, okay? He's probably well known in the track and field world. I don't know him, but Chris Johnson ran a 40-yard dash in 4.24, 4 in 2400 seconds. That's pretty fast, okay? So we could figure this out. We could say that the distance he ran was 40 yards. This is how far he ran, 40 yards, equals his rate, and we don't know his rate, okay? So I'm gonna put an R right there, times his speed, times his time. His time was 4 and 2400 seconds. So could we figure out how fast he was running? Can we figure out his rate? And we can, okay? And we're gonna go back to what we learned about ratios. We want to find out how, if we want to put this in a ratio, we want to figure out yards per second. Yards per second. How many yards per second? That would be his unit rate. This is how we found unit rate last week. So if we did yards per second, how many yards did he run? 40. We're going to make a ratio out of it. How many seconds did he run? 4 and 2400 seconds. What kind of math problem is this? What's that fraction bar mean? It means to divide. So this is going to be 40 divided by 4 and 2400. Now, for this problem, okay, we're going to use a calculator. I know we don't normally use calculators, but for this particular problem, we're going to use a calculator. I'm going to grab mine real quick. Okay, because this is kind of our example problem, and that would take us a long time to divide it. And I really want you to focus on this formula, this equation. So I'm going to put 40 in my calculator first, 40 divided by 4.24 0.24, okay? And that gives me a big old long decimal number, okay? And so that would equal 9.4339622, and it keeps going in my calculator. But I think the directions say to round it to the nearest hundredths place. So the hundredths place, this is the ones, this is the tenths, this is the hundredths place. So I'm going to underline the 3. We look behind the 3 to see what number that is. Okay, it's another 3. Okay, if the number behind, if it's a 0 to 4, we leave this the same as before. 0 to 4, same as before. 5 to 9, move up the line. If it's 5 to 9, we're going to round that up to a 4. But it's in the 0 to 4 category. It's a 3, so that means we leave it the same. 9.43, or 9 43 hundredths, meters per second. Yards per second, not meters per second. Okay, yards per second. And I think I already put that in the edge elastic. I already typed yards per second. So you just have to put the answer, 9 43 hundredths. Okay, we're gonna do another one. Okay.